We begin today's show with a look at the fortune of Mitt Romney, one of the richest men to ever run for U.S. president. Where Romney stashes his personal wealth, estimated at up to $250 million, has been the focus of Democrats since Vanity Fair published a new piece called Where the Money Lives. It delves into the murky world of offshore finance and reveals loopholes that allowed Romney to skirt tax laws and store millions in foreign tax havens. President Obama has tweeted 3 times about the article, saying, quote, "I don't know of any American president who has had a Swiss bank account," end quote. That's originally a comment made by Romney's former Republican presidential rival, Newt Gingrich. The Vanity Fair article also draws attention to Romney's refusal so far to release more than 1 year's worth of tax returns. On Tuesday, the Obama campaign and top Democrats took to the airwaves and the internet with videos like this one.
Romney has gone to great lengths to keep secret many important details about his wealth, including whether he uses tax loopholes available only to the super rich.
This is really something that is not going to appeal to Americans unless Mitt Romney comes out and says, we must change our tax code because it is so gameable. I am one of the people who learned how to make an end run around the system. I have my money in other places around the world to avoid taxes, and so we have to fix this problem. That's not what he's doing. And so people are going to react negatively to this.
Your father, he released his tax returns, and for not 1 year, but for 12 years. And when he did that, he said 1 year could be a fluke, perhaps done for show. Will you follow your father's example?
Maybe.
That Obama campaign video includes a clip of Romney from a CNN Republican presidential primary debate in South Carolina in January, responding to the moderator, CNN John King. Now such ads have put Romney back on the hot seat. Despite reports of a still struggling economy and high unemployment, a new poll shows Obama has extended his lead over Romney to 6 percentage points. Speaking to Radio Iowa late Monday, Romney answered his critics about his secretive accounting.
I realize that the president's failure to actually reignite the economy makes it hard for him to discuss his own record. And so he's going to try and attack me on every personal basis he can come up with. With regards to any foreign investments, I understand, and you understand, of course, that my investments have been held by a blind trust, have been managed by a trustee. I don't manage them, don't even know where they are. That trustee follows all U.S. laws. All the taxes are paid as appropriate. All of them have been reported to the government. There's nothing hidden there. There's nothing. If, for instance, you own shares in, let's say, Renault or in Fiat, you still have to pay taxes. You still have to disclose that in the United States. So, I understand the president's going to try and do anything he can to divert attention from the fact that his jobs record is weak and he has no plan to make things better.
Well, for more, we're joined by investigative reporter Nick Shaxson, whose new article for Vanity Fair magazine is what began this latest round of questions about Romney's taxes and offshore accounts. It's called Where the Money Lives. Nick Shaxson is also author of Treasure Islands, Uncovering the Damage of Offshore Banking and Tax Havens. He's joining us via Democracy Now! Video stream from Zurich, Switzerland. Nick Shaxson, welcome to Democracy Now! Okay, tell us, where does the money live?
Hi, good morning. Really, what my article explored was a series of questions. I mean, what you come up with is a series of questions. This is a very secretive set of investments. I mean, there is a lot of information available. He's required to make public disclosures. He's required to, well, he's released a tax return, 1 year's tax return. So there is a certain amount of information out there, but that information in turn has generated a lot of questions. There are investments all over the place in the United States and overseas. There are a number of investments that are routed through tax havens. You have to do a bit of digging to find out where a lot of those investments are. There was, as you mentioned, a Swiss bank account that came up that didn't have any particular tax resonance because it was disclosed. But, it didn't look good and it made a big splash. My article also found a corporation, for example, based in Bermuda that had not been disclosed before, that only suddenly popped up in the tax return the 2010 tax return, which he released under pressure during the Republican primaries. And this Bermuda corporation raises a lot of questions, which journalists before have asked him, and I've asked him, and there has been no reasonable answer about this. And there are a number of investments via Bain Capital, the company that he set up and nominally left in 1999, that invest through places such as the Cayman Islands. So it's a very, very complex picture. He has on his tax return, he has page after page after page of foreign entities reported, and it's been a sort of Byzantine task trying to unravel what's going on in there.
Nicholas Shaxson, you mentioned Bain Capital, that Romney left Bain Capital in 1999. But as you point out in your piece, as recently as this June, Romney earned $2 million in new income from Bain, despite having left the company 13 years ago. How is that possible?
Well, he was running Bain Capital from he set it up in 1984 and ran it till 1999, where he left to run the Salt Lake City Olympic program. After he left in 1999, there is some question as to whether or not he left full operational management. The Romney camp said he did. There's a bit of stuff in the media at the moment questioning that. Until 2001, it appears that he may have had some operational management over the Bain Capital itself. After that, he did leave, definitely for sure left operational management of Bain Capital, but he continues to receive income from it. Bain Capital has lots of funds investing in all sorts of different things, many of them routed through the Cayman Islands, and those funds will generate returns. They will generate profits, interests, which he receives over time, and he has been receiving. Money, and as you mentioned, there's a new payment came to light fairly recently. So he's continuing to receive a stream of income. There has been no release of information about what exactly his severance agreement was with Bain Capital. What is his relationship with the company? He has been asked this, his campaign has been asked this, and they have not come back with any good answer. So it may be that there was a new entity that appeared on his tax return, a new Bain Capital entity that appears to give him the potential to receive more income for many years to come. But there's been no clarity about this. So we just don't know exactly how long his relationship is going to be with Bain Capital. If he's elected president, then it may be that he continues to receive substantial income from them while he's president. So a lot of questions arising.
I want to play a clip of Vice President Biden joking about Romney's reluctance to release more than 2 years of tax returns. This is Biden on Tuesday addressing the National Council of La Raza's annual conference.
When his father was a candidate for president in 1968, his father released 12 years of tax returns because he said, and I quote, "1 year could be a fluke, perhaps done for show," end of quote. That was his father. His son has released only 1 year of his tax returns, making a lie of the old adage, like father, like son. He wants you to show your papers, but he won't show us his. It's kind of fascinating.
Vice President Joe Biden. Nick Shaxson, let's talk about this issue of taxes. As you write in your article, it was Mitt Romney's father, George Romney, in 1967, ahead of his presidential campaign, who released 12 years of tax returns, saying, when explaining why so many years he released, 1 year could be a fluke, perhaps done for show. That was Mitt's father, George Romney. Why is releasing tax returns so significant? What do you learn from them, and what don't we know about Mitt Romney?
Well, I think that point about releasing only 1 year is very significant. I mean, for example, the Swiss bank account that popped up on the 2010 tax return, then it was closed again after that, and it's now closed. The 2011 estimate that was produced revealed that had been closed. And so that was something that just kind of popped up and then winked out of existence. So, 1 year just gives you a snapshot. But the thing about income and taxes, income is a very flexible thing. When you're rich and you have wealthy tax advisors, you can massage your income. You can shift it around from year to year. You can play all sorts of games with it. So unless you have a pattern, unless you're able to establish a pattern over a number of years to see what is, where the income is going, and establish that, as a sort of regular pattern, then it's very difficult to say anything for sure. I mean, he could have shoveled a lot of income from one year into another year and made it look a particular way. We just don't know. So it's very important to get a lot more information than has been produced by Mitt Romney.
We're going to break and then come back to this discussion. Our guest is Nick Shaxson. He has written a very interesting piece in Vanity Fair called "Where the Money Lives." We'll be back with him in just a minute.